Hello, everyone. Um, I got talking to Angela, my girlfriend, and we're thinking about trying to revamp my group, Search for the Haunted. I don't know if we're gonna go with the same name or not, um, but we're going to try to get Danielle, perhaps, to join up with us, and then we're going to try to recruit my friend Jason and my friend Marilee, and see if they want to join us. We're gonna try to talk to um, the ladies at the Old Drum Courthouse in Warrensburg and do our own investigation. Because here's our take on it. Basically, as like I think her name Julia Couch was the one who conducted our stuff, our part of the group, and I can't vouch for the other because I think there's two different paranormal groups. Her group was the one leading us, and then the other group. So I can't vouch for the other group. All I can do is vouch for the group that we were in, and I can say right now I really wasn't all too impressed, and here's my reason as to why. First off, the investigation started off as a human pendulum, and it was my first time ever seeing a human pendulum done. I have to admit, I don't know if I was really all that impressed because I don't know Julia and her team. I especially don't know Julia all that well. She might be a real medium. She may not be. I don't know. I I just met her that night, so I have no idea. I can't, vouch for her one way or the other. And I refuse to vouch for her one way or the other, whether she is or not. So, in that being said, I don't know her going back and forth like that, whether she's actually being manipulated by a ghost or a spirit, or that she's doing it herself. I have no idea. I'm going on the limb that she was being manipulated, but again, I didn't see a ghost manipulate her. I didn't see a spirit touch her. So therefore, I can't see it. I can't validate that's exactly what happened. So therefore, I'm just taking her word for it that that's what happened. I really don't know. So for that reason, because I don't know, I can't say that. And Angela felt the same way. Is like once we left that first part, it didn't sway us whether the place was haunted or not. I have no idea. I will say the one thing that got me was Marilee's spirit box. When we went upstairs and they were asking questions, Marilee's spirit box on her phone would oftentimes validate what they were saying, even though that box has no idea really what's going on. It's just spitting out words. So I found that to be very interesting. But again, we're not really. I mean, they said they saw a shadow upstairs. And the shadow occurred right when they were telling their story at the very beginning. Nobody went upstairs to see whether or not it was an actual shadow. Nobody tried to recreate it. Nobody tried to follow it. Nobody tried to see where it went. It was just a shadow that moved upstairs, and then that's, oh, cool. Well, maybe we caught it, and that was the end of it. And I know without a doubt, like I was telling Angela a while ago, I was like, our group wouldn't have done that. If we saw a shadow or something move, we would have instantly reacted and say, we need to go up there right now. There's something going on. We'll pause the story. We'll come right back to it, but we need to go investigate up there right now. Something's going on. or we need to find out why, basically we need to find out why this occurred, how it occurred, where it went. We need to know. There was none of that. But they did keep mentioning orbs. I live in the state of Missouri. I am not, and because I live in the state of Missouri during the summertime, I'm not sold on orbs. I'm sorry, I'm not. First off, orbs can happen in places whether it's paranormal or not. They are just a common occurrence. We don't know what really causes orbs, or, we know it's some sort of energy, but like I said, I don't know what causes an orb or anything like that. And second off, being that I live in Missouri during the summertime, an orb can easily be a lightning bug. It could be dust. It could be, who knows? I mean, we're in an old house. So I am not sold on orbs. Sorry, I'm not. But like I said, the stuff they were doing upstairs was just kind of cool. Because like I said, Marilee stuff. The thing that I didn't like, though, and Angela didn't like that either, was we kind of wanted to do that whole sit in there with the headphones on and listen in to words, and then we'd shout it out too. We kind of wanted to do that too. Because they asked for volunteers. They didn't let us do it. They let this one young lady do it that they happened to know. They let everybody know that later on. They happened to know her. And I guess this young lady is supposed to be a medium too, or in the works of becoming a medium from the sound of it. Sorry. But yeah, so I don't know. It kind of sent some red flags there. Because then they kind of said too, like, well, for you guys' safety, for your safety. And I thought to myself, like, okay, but what would it be unsafe about us having a set of headphones on and we're just listening to words and shouting them out to you? That's all I'm really doing. I'm not trying to interact with anything in there necessarily. I mean, if it interacts with me, fine. I've got a story. But I'm not trying to manipulate anything. And being that I don't know you, you don't know me, you'd think that I would actually be able to gather better evidence for you than someone you actually know. Because you know that we're not manipulating anything, because I don't even know you, So I'm not going to know what you're going to say, and you're not going to know what I'm going to say. So it works great. But like I said, not my investigation, not my, as my sister and I like to say a lot of times, not my circus, not my monkeys. So that was the situation that night. Let them do their thing. But yeah, we weren't really too impressed by that group, and that's why. I will say at one point I did state that, because we were talking about Mr. Anderson there towards the end of the night as a group. There's a dentist that has his stuff in the museum, go by Mr. Anderson, and everybody seems to get creeped out every time they go by there. The one lady said that she did talk to Mr. Anderson at some point that night. But again, if she did, nobody caught it on camera or anything like that, so I don't know. Supposedly the young lady was answering questions there with a human pendulum there at the end to Mr. Anderson. But again, I don't know. We don't know if it actually was Mr. Anderson. I don't know, because I don't know this young lady either. I can't validate for her one way or the other. So again, it's a story. but I don't know if she's being truthful or not. I don't know. I don't know either one, so I can't validate that. That would be impossible. So, again, we had fun. We did, but I think we are kind of at the end of the day or end of the night. I think we kind of have more questions than answers as to what was going on. And I would rather, I would rather go in as a group and like, okay, say like they said they had footsteps going on in the museum. I would be going into that museum and seeing somehow, some way, if we can't recreate those footsteps. If we can't recreate it, then maybe they've got something. Also, shadow figures. Go in there and see if we can recreate those shadows. If we can't, there might be something there too. Leave some tape recorders going throughout the entire night, where you just take a digital recorder, set it down, let it go. Come back and go through all that later on. I mean, yes, it's time consuming. Yes, it is time consuming, and I apologize. We've got stupid neighbors. But yes, it is time consuming. It does take a lot of time because we did it a lot of times in our other group. But you get a lot of really good evidence sometimes by just going back and re-listening. And you don't have to do it all in one night. It's best if you just do an hour at a time or a few minutes each night until you get through it. Because you might miss something if you try to do it all in one go. But, yeah. Like I said, I wasn't... Which, by the way, too, would have been really cool if they did something along those lines, maybe, and then came back later and said, okay, guys, we're going to do a part 2 later on next Saturday night, where we do a reveal or whatever, and then show you all what we got. That would have been really cool. Or maybe they do it via, the internet, where they show everybody their findings, but I said it just left a lot more questions and answers, I think. I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where, like, it is like, okay, if you believe in medians or if you don't, if you believe in the medians, then you probably walked away with, hey, they might have something. If you're skeptical or you just don't know where I fit, don't know, I'm not saying I don't believe in medians. I'm just saying I don't know if she's an actual median or not. I know there's a lot of fakes out there. I'm not saying she is one, but I don't know. I can't validate one way or the other. So, and, yeah. I mean, you guys can watch the video and see what y'all take on it, but that's just my take on it. They left more questions than answers. And I know as a paranormal investigator myself, that's not really what I do. I just simply go in and try to disprove the haunting and make people feel better and at ease. That's my idea, is to go in and try to help. And if we do catch something, then we'll take steps B, C, and D later. But right now, we want to take step A, and that, is it haunted or is it not haunted? And then we'll go from there as to whether it's residual, whether it's interactive, which I'm pretty sure we'll probably get that right off the bat. And then whether it's malicious or whether it's just simply there and talking and friendly. I mean, a lot of those questions will be answered after you answer the very first question. Is it haunted or is it not haunted? Well, obviously, if it's not haunted, you don't have to answer those other questions. It's already done. If it may be haunted, then you answer the other questions as follows. But let's don't make a place a zebra when it's just a horse. That's my thing on it. But, yeah, that's just my thoughts. Hook me up, see what you all think. And then I look forward to see if maybe if Marilee and Jason and maybe Danielle comment on this video too, and see if maybe us forming a group and going out and doing some of these investigations is a thing. Because I also know that there's a train. It used to be a train wreck. Well, where a train did wreck out in Montserrat, Missouri, and that was during, I believe, the Western period. And I know that a lot of people say that particular area of track is still supposedly haunted. So that might be another place for us to check out. And I do know there's some other places in Sedalia, Missouri, that are still supposedly haunted too, and maybe we might get a chance to look at those as well. But you know, those would be in the works. First things first, got to form the group before we can go. But yeah, so that's all I got for you guys for tonight. Hope you all enjoyed it. Peace out.